Yo, what is up guys, it's your girl Bex. Welcome back to the race rundown post Silverstone Grand Prix. One of the most entertaining Silverstone Grand Prix, might I add. We're going to start off straight from the top, we're going to get straight into it. Top 3 British front row for the first time ever at Silverstone, our home nation, locking out the front row. Let's go, big up the Brits. We're doing better in Formula 1 than we are the football. This is a Formula 1 podcast, not a football podcast. Thank the Lord, because I have a lot to say about the football at the moment. The home crowd, as always, in Silverstone were electric. As always, giving the home lads the advantage on the track. So, let's get into how the race went, shall we? That is what we're all here for after all. And then we have some juicy off the track gossip to get into. Some thoughts, some feelings about the home GP. As I mentioned in the last episode, I had a surprise for my friends who came round to watch Silverstone. And I'm going to put some video footage in because I feel like you guys would appreciate it. If you follow me on TikTok, you've already seen it. The video is actually done quite well, if I do say so myself. But if you follow me on TikTok, TikTok saw it first, okay? So, from the top then. Max passes Lando as Lando goes over the curb. That was my first point. However, let's rewind just a little bit. The start. Lewis, George, Max, Lando. So, they all get off the line pretty well, to be fair. Pretty well. Oh, Piastri as well. Sorry, Piastri as well. They all get off the line pretty well. George absolutely pummels it down into the first corner. Lewis slips in behind. Then we have Max and Lando. Now, Sky F1, little bit of a tangent here, but still worth talking about. Sky F1 were banging on about the event, the incident that happened last week. They're over it. We should be too. Simple as. I'm not going to go into that any more than that. I'm over it. We all know who was at fault. That's it. Sky F1, stop talking about it, okay? Anyway, Lando goes on the curb, trying to get the outside line on Lewis. Didn't happen. Max passes Lando. Lando's in 4th. Not great. Then, at the back of the pack, just when you think that the front row is interesting, at the back of the pack, we then have Albon, who's, technically it was his home race. He then clashes with Fernando Alonso. Now we, and by we I mean me and my friend Callan, have noticed that since Alonso signed his new contract, he has been consistently behind Stroll. We were speculating, I wish to speculate with you guys too. Do you think that potentially it was in Alonso's contract that he cannot pass Stroll anymore? Would Daddy Stroll do that? That is my question. Would Daddy Stroll pay Fernando Alonso to not make his son look bad? I personally think he would. I will leave that up to you. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on socials. That's as much as we're going to touch into that. Then, as the race carries on, around about lap 18, we get the first spot of rain. At this point, they are holding on them slicks. They are holding on. Do we go for inters? Do we not? My blood pressure rising. Flashbacks of Lando in Russia. All over again. Flashbacks, the tension. I'm sitting, I'm gripping my chair, I'm stressed. Then Lando then passes Max. In my notes, I have a winky face next to that. There was a little bit of happiness coming from me. So that's good. Lando then passes Max. Then Piastri passes Max. Now, I don't know what they've done with this McLaren car, but I'm here for it. I am here for it. They have done wonders with that thing. And I think it could be a championship winning car. Maybe not this year. Maybe not this year because Max had such dominance at the beginning of the year. But who knows? We're halfway through. Lando's going to have to win a lot more races to cover the ground. But one team I know that will not be covering that ground is Ferrari. Am I right? Wait. No, sorry. Right, moving on. So then, at this point, there's a little bit of excitement. Piastri passes George. Both the Mercs go off. Again, I was busy gripping the chair at this point. I can't remember what happened in what order, but alas, both the Mercs went off. I remember I was in the kitchen. My friends were screaming. I came running back in. Got the replay. Thank the Lord. Sky F1 coming in clutch with the replay. Both the Mercs go off. Piastri just slides on by. But then we have the ultimate downfall of, I think, McLaren at the moment. the pit strategy. Now, there was a chance that they were going to get undercut by Merc and Red Bull, and it happened. Do I think that having them both in 1-2 and setting in Piastri first and Lando another lap was a good idea? No, not at all. I don't. I think it was a miscall from them, and ultimately it led to them losing the race, or at least losing a position, I would say. Do I think that Lando had a strong chance of winning this race? Yes. Do I think that his calls and lack of experience let him down a little bit? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they're leaning on him to be number one driver at McLaren now. You know, he's been there a while. He signed a multi-year contract. He's, you know, he needs to age up a little bit, and he's just not doing it. Piastri needs a golden boy to follow. And if anything, I think at points, I'm not being biased here, people, so don't chew my head off. I think at points, Piastri has outperformed Lando. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. At points, Piastri has outperformed Lando Norris. So the pit strategy was a problem. Merc did the double stack. Max came in at very similar times. It was just all wrong, basically. It was just all wrong. So then that was the first pit. Then when it's time to come back onto slicks, they put Piastri on the mediums. Lando then comes in, asks for the softs. Mistake, in my opinion. Mistake. He should have either gone hard or medium. It would have taken a little bit longer for them to fire up, but they would have lasted longer. I think ultimately the tyre deg was what got him when it came to Verstappen behind him. He was on the hard. Red Bull didn't have a set of mediums left for the weekend. So they put Verstappen on the hards. When they lit up, that was it. It was game over. He had the better tyre. He overtook Lando. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that was it, pretty much. I firmly believe that Lando called the wrong tyre. I think he does too. Based on the post-race interview, he was very sulky. I'm going to say it how it is. He was very sulky. This sounds like a hating Lando podcast. It isn't. As you all know, I am a McLaren girly, so I don't dislike Lando. I think, as Pink said in the post-race press pen, he's being a little bit hard on himself at the moment. And I get it, because, you know, you need that race-winning mentality, and I understand that. But that comes with experience, and he hasn't had a good enough car, in my opinion, to be close to that yet. So the fact that he now has a good enough car, he just needs time, and that's okay. He's only young still, so he's got time, you know? He's not of a Lewis age. Sorry, Team LH, don't kill me. But he's not of a Lewis age, so it's fine. He's got time. I think he'll get there. So after that pit stop, Max overtakes. Lewis is still in front. Team LH are absolutely gunning for it. The crowd, as always, screaming, shouting, absolutely electric from the telly. I can't even imagine what it was like being there in person. It must have been so loud. Now, Lewis hasn't won a race in a while. And this isn't me shitting on Mercedes. It isn't. I'm indifferent towards them. I think Lewis is great at what he does. I think George is great at what he does. I think all of them are great at what they do, except for Stroll. So, I think that him winning his first race since 2021, and the fact that it was his 9th win there as well, and it was symbolic because it was the last race for him at Merc, at Silverstone. You know, he's never going to race there again in a Merc suit. He's won most of his races there with them. So, in a way, it was quite poetic. I turned to my friends and said, hey, I'm just happy that I don't have to listen to the Max Verstappen national anthem again. It was quite nice to have God Save the King playing for the first time in however many days, thousands of days. I think the Sky F1 commentary team said it was like over 1,000 days since Lewis had won a race. The fact that they have these numbers just to hand is insane to me. But yeah, I think it was quite symbolic. It was cool to watch. It was nice that somebody else won other than Max. I think it's also cool that every single race that somebody else has won, it's been a different driver, which is so cool. It just goes to show that, yes, Max is dominant, but the rest of the field are also up there as well, which is really cool to watch. I'm sure Netflix are absolutely over the moon because they know that Drive to Survive Season 6 is going to be absolutely bussin'. So we'll see. There are lots of celebs at the track as well this time round. Lots of fans of Lewis. Stormzy, for example. Sky F1 did a piece with Stormzy. Mr. Bean was there. Rowan Atkinson was there. My guy JC was there. Jeremy Clarkson was there. Oh, loads of different people. Amelia Clark was there. She was in the Ferrari garage, but she was also in the McLaren garage and the Mercedes garage. So love that for her. Not exclusive to a team. Love that. Yeah, it was cool to watch. It was cool to see the celebs. It was cool to see Lewis win again. I would have loved for it to be Lando, but it wasn't his race, and that's okay. It's fine. But now we have a little bit of off-the-track news. Now, I know I just spoke about celebrities at the track and it was cool seeing them. And people like Jeremy Clarkson, who have a genuine interest in cars and the sport as a whole. And Patrick Mahomes as well, he was there. He's a part owner of Alpine, same as Travis Kelce. So, I get it. They have ties to Formula One. I understand. However, okay, now, some may say this is about to be very stereotypical of me because by doing a podcast, I am aiming to be an influencer. I'm not. I'm just here to hop on the mic, spit the truth, tell you all my opinions. If you like it, great. If you don't, okay. I'm sorry that you don't like my opinions. I'm sorry that you don't like the podcast. Thank you for listening, though. I really appreciate you. You know, I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to get sponsors. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just here. I'm just a girl with a podcast trying to have a laugh, okay? So what I am about to say may seem very controversial to some. However, I'm just going to say it how it is. You know me, your girl Bex is brutally honest. So, I don't believe that influencers belong at Formula One in general, okay? Now, I get it. Brands need influencers. I work in marketing for my real job, so I get it. I get how it works. I get that it brings in viewers. I get that it brings in a new audience. I understand that from a marketing perspective. However, what interest do makeup gurus have being at Formula One? Are you fucking serious? Like, I have seen so many TikTokers get ready with me to go to Silverstone. Bitch, please. There are people, and I'm not just saying this because it is me, right? Lewis said it the other day. The price of Formula One tickets are extortionate, okay? Like, they just are. They are ridiculously expensive. It's ridiculously expensive to get a seat in the first place. It's ridiculously expensive when you get to the track. And then you've got influencers that are doing fucking get ready with me's. Like, seriously? Seriously? Can you even name me 2 F1 drivers that you aren't paid to tell me? You know what I mean? Like, yes, a little bit of jealousy here. Full transparency. A little bit of jealousy here. Do I wish it could be me? Yes, 100%. 100%. However, what fucking interest, and I am getting very angry here, what fucking interest does James Charles have going to the Miami Grand Prix? What does he know about cars? Nothing. What does he know about racing? Nothing. The closest he's got to a pit stop is changing a fucking broken nail. Sorry. Nothing against James Charles. I loved his videos. I used his filter on TikTok the other day. Nothing against him. He's just one of the many beauty influencers that I have seen, okay? Like, don't get me wrong. If you have a genuine interest in the sport, fine. Okay? Everyone is allowed to be a fan. I'm not gatekeeping it. I'm not. Okay? I know that sounds very desperate. Like, please don't hate me. But no, seriously. I've said this before. I want to build a community of fans. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like. This is a completely judgment-free zone in terms of the fans of Formula One, right? But when you see somebody speaking about Formula One or posting about Formula One, and you know, like blatantly, you know that they're just paid to be there, it just upsets me a little bit, right? Like, if I was to have a conversation with these people and they genuinely had an enthusiasm for Formula One, right? And you could see that, and their content was Formula One related, and they, I don't know, spoke to drivers or, you know, posted about races or put up on their stories that they're watching the races or something like that, then that's fine, because, you know, you're showing a genuine interest and it's something that you love, right? And I'm here for it. Whether you're a beauty guru, whether you're a mechanic from bloody Yorkshire, I don't care who you are. If you like the sport, you're welcome here. Doesn't matter what team you support, doesn't matter what season is your favourite of all time. It doesn't matter whether you're a Max fan, a Lewis fan. Okay, maybe it matters a little bit if you're a Stroll fan, but you get what I mean, okay? Maybe you will be judged slightly by me if you're a Stroll fan, okay? Ever so slightly. Not massively, just slightly. That's me being fully transparent, okay? I told you I would be fully transparent. But beauty influencers and influencers that do not know the first thing about Formula One, in my opinion, do not belong there. That is where I'm going to leave it. Because I don't want to get heated. I don't want to say something that I'm going to regret. So I'm just going to leave it there. Let me know your opinions in the comments. And let's have a mature conversation about it. Because I can quite easily rant for ages about how they don't belong there. Because it's fueled by a little bit of jealousy, okay? I think anyone who's anyone that loves Formula One and has never been to a GP, like myself, I've never been to a Grand Prix, everybody wants to go, right? Everyone wants to go. Everybody wants to experience a race at least once, right? So there's a little bit of jealousy coming from that. I will fully admit there is a little bit of jealousy. I would love nothing more than a brand to come up to me and go, hey, we've seen your Formula One content. We love what you do. Come to a Grand Prix. Okay, sign me up. Where do I sign? Like, I get it. But it makes sense because my content is on brand. Do you get what I mean? If your content is on brand, you have a genuine interest in it, fine. But beauty influencers that do not know the first thing about Formula One should not be there, in my opinion. Anyway, that's that little rant over and done with. Then we have the Danica Patrick situation. I'm still not sure if this is fully legit or not, but according to reports, according to many, Danica Patrick, the former NASCAR driver, has been removed from her role in Sky Sports F1 due to some comments that she'd made. However, these appear to be untrue. So I'm not sure if she has or not been sacked from F1. I know she's just been announced as the face of Netflix, Drive to Survive. Fair for her, you know what I mean? Strong woman in Formula One. Do I necessarily like Danica Patrick? Not fully. Do I think it's great for young girls to see a strong NASCAR driver and an American presence for the young American girls that are getting into Formula One? 100%. Am I a Danica Patrick fan? No. Simple answer to that question. Do I think that her being fired, quote unquote fired, obviously we're not sure if the rumours are true or not, is a good thing? No. Anyone losing their job is a terrible thing. Whether they've been sacked for something that they've said, obviously if they deserve it, then rightfully so. If they don't, and it's all false, you should be innocent till proven guilty, and she shouldn't have lost her job. But we'll see. As that unfolds, I shall let you guys know what the deal is with that. Then we have, speaking of influencers and people entering the Formula One world, particularly Americans, we had the debut. I believe it was the debut. I could be wrong. If I was wrong, let me know in the comments. The debut of the Formula One trailer for the Brad Pitt film. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tom Cruise is also making a Formula One film. And out of the two, I think I'd much rather watch the Tom Cruise film because Lewis is in it. Just saying. However, this trailer looked good. It looked good. I will go and see it. I will give an honest review of the film because I love Formula One. I love all things Formula One. I watch all the documentaries. I watch Drive to Survive, even though it's painful sometimes. I still sit and watch it. I do everything I can to keep up with what's going on in Formula One, right? So I will sit and watch it. I will give my honest thoughts and feedback and whether you guys should go watch it or not. Will I go see it on my own? Probably. There aren't a lot of people in my life that enjoy Formula One besides me and a handful of others. So if they aren't able to make it, I will definitely go by myself and I will give you an honest review recorded from my phone straight after I come out of the cinema. That is a promise. A race rundown, Beck's promise, okay? So I think it looked decent. I'm sceptical, but I think it looked good. We'll just have to see. And that's where I'm going to leave that. And the final point I wanted to talk about is what's going on with the teams at the moment. So, as you guys all know, again, if you follow me on TikTok, what a time to be alive. Oliver Bearman signing a multi-year contract with Haas. Praise be. Honestly, he just needs a teammate now. But honestly, that's the best signing they've made so far. Gene Haas, you've outdone yourself. You've outdone yourself. I didn't like you till now, but you've outdone yourself. I am off to buy Haas merch. The second he steps foot in that car, I'm a Haas fan. Goodbye, McLaren. Goodbye, Mercedes. The new team is coming through. No, I'm kidding. But I will be buying a Haas shirt. That will be happening. The same as if Carlos ends up at Mercedes. I will be buying a Mercedes shirt. I'm just saying. But anyway, one thing we do know for sure. Ollie Bearman at Haas. There is a rumour that Ocon will be joining Haas with an announcement coming at the beginning of the summer break. Do we think this is legit? Do we think it's a good idea? I'm not sure. I don't see Esteban Ocon having any form of mentoring bone in his body. I think Ollie needs somebody like Bottas, like Carlos, to nurture him and build him up. I think he's great already based on the performance from Ferrari, but God forbid, if he gets the right teammate, that could be the winning combination for Haas. Get the money in there as well, the sponsorships, everybody loves Ollie. You never know. You never know. So, with Haas basically being the sister team for Ferrari, we have to touch on the performance of Ferrari so far. Does anyone else find it so incredibly ironic that Lewis is winning races with Merc just as he's about to go off to Ferrari, and they are absolutely shit? Sorry if you are a Ferrari fan. I know it's already a hard life for you as a Ferrari fan. However, it ain't looking good, is it? It ain't looking good, is it? You've got Leclerc being beaten by Sainz left, right and Chelsea. The cars aren't great. All I can hope is that the reason why this season's car is shit is because they've spent all their time and money in the aero tunnel for next year's car. Because if they haven't, Lewis has just made the biggest career mistake of his life. And that is a fact. So we shall have to see. 2025 is shaping up to be a good one. We've still got quite a few driver announcements to come, which I'm excited about before the end of the season. Now that we're halfway through, we can expect those in due course, more than likely. So, that leads us to the final point of this podcast. When is the next race, Bex? Tell us. Tell us, when will you be graced with the sound of my voice, you lucky, lucky people, all over again? Well, the next race is in 10 days' time. 10 days' time in Hungary, with a race time of 2 p.m. on Sunday. So that's good. That's good. We're good. So, until then, have a lovely time, you fabulous bunch of people. Follow me on all the socials. Subscribe on YouTube. If you like the podcast, rate the show. Leave us a 5-star rating. Get it out to as many people as humanly possible. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. Follow me on there. And until the Hungarian Grand Prix, I've been your girl Bex. This has been the Race Rundown, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!